Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Great to have you with us on 2K Sports. And coming up in just a bit, tip-off will be live from Oakland as the Warriors go up against the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, they're sitting at 500 over the last 10 games, kind of treading water. They'd really like to make a splash over the next few games. We're going to have a chance to watch Draymond Green in tonight's game, one of the best defenders in the league. Just what allows him to be such a force on defense, Shaq?
Well, he has great instincts to jump into the passing lanes and anticipate shots. Strong enough and quick enough and can guard any position. He was an all-star last year. I think he's going to be an all-star for the next 4 or 5 years to come.
Well, he's the kind of player, he can get a stop. He can make you guard him. Totally different kind of guy that you're used to seeing, a two-way player at his best.
Time for tip-off as we send it over to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Give a rim the number one, even though
2K Sports presents the NBA. Monday Night Basketball is coming right up. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Chris Webber and Greg Anthony with us. And from the sideline, we'll be hearing from David Aldridge. A contest between conferences, Oracle Arena, Oakland, California, where the Warriors take their home floor. The Pacers beat them last time when these two teams met in Indiana.
Yeah, they couldn't do any better than a shooting percentage in the low 30s on that night, guys, and that's pretty much a deficit.
Yeah, that's just an uninspired performance. Didn't execute well, and even the few times they did, the shots still had a hard time falling.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Well, Kevin Durant is back after missing most of 2015 after requiring a third surgery to repair a bone in his foot. He said it was the first time I had to face something being snatched away from me that I loved so much. I just tried to stay positive and feel that if I put the same work ethic in, then things would turn out all right for me. Kevin?
Great to have him healthy and back out on the floor, D.A. Thank you. And Chris, would you say at this point in the season, teams know what their strengths and weaknesses are?
Well, if they don't know right now, they're going to be in trouble.
So Indiana wins the tip. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Monte and George filling out the perimeter. Young out there with Jefferson, and it's Teague in at the point guard position. Jefferson, that's good, and so Teague with the assist.
Displaying that feathery touch from mid-range, Jefferson has always had that shot in his back pocket.
Curry kicks to Thompson, and Thompson throws it down.
Great playmakers help everything run so smooth. An excellent lead pass.
On defense, Golden State, they come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
Yeah, and in that game, we saw a lot of sloppy play from the opposing offense. They cost the ball a lot of unforced turnovers.
Well, I thought they lacked focus. They took too many unnecessary chances. Just a ton of mistakes all the way around for everyone.
Now here's Curry, following the miss by Monte Ellis. Curry passes to Thompson. Drops in the tray. Thompson's got 5 points so far.
Well, the highest shot release couldn't trigger. Thompson able to drain that one with the hand of his toe.
Ellis with it. Picked up by Thompson. Ellis kicks to T. Looking for Jefferson. He gets it there. His second shot goes in. Off to a good start. 2 for 2.
Could be the first of a lot of mid-range jumpers that we see from him.
Has anyone read the scouting report? I mean, that's his game. He's always looking to get quality shots from that area when he can. Man, fantastic chemistry on that play. You have to admire the unselfishness.
Teague against Curry. Tries from 10. Shoots from the baseline. And it's good. 2 points. Young's got his first points of the night.
And Teague knew that he would be open there. Great patience and vision from the point man.
And it's Thompson with the jam.
That
That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
For the captain of the ship, you know the rest of his teammates look to him to provide when things are tight. He came through again.
Now, here is George. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Kicks it out to Ellis. Screen by Young, and the officials have called the illegal screen right there. Well, we knew that he was funny from working with them, but Steve Kerr has demonstrated many times, Chris, just how smooth he can be with the media.
And you can't downplay how much that means to a team. The Warriors, Kerr provides them a buffer for criticism with his wit.
Here's Thompson. He had 13 points in the win against Phoenix.
Yeah, and talk about his scoring. I mean, Kevin, with the defense trying to pressure him, he did a good job of getting them to overcommit and getting himself to the line.
And here is Teague after the three-pointer from Klay Thompson. Ellis kicks to Jefferson. Outside, George. Screen by Ellis. Here's Young. The Warriors pull it in.
Excellent D to force that miss there. That took real courage to risk being on the poster, being he's one of the best dunkers in the game.
Really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Ellis outside. He kicks to Jefferson. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Al Jefferson has shown signs of decline in his game in the past few years. I doubt that we'll see him return as that 22 and 11 player that he had been for so long. Still, he's a great contributor in whatever minutes he gets for his team.
And Jefferson knows, Chris, that he's no longer the focal point of an offense and is taken to the transition.
Well, yeah, that's because years in this league are what matter, not your actual age. Jefferson was playing significant minutes as a 20-year-old, and a decade of banging on that block with the big fellas, that takes its toll.
And they had some boxed coverage that turned into no coverage.
Thompson in the corner. There's the triple. For 3. Good as Green picking up the assist. And it's 13 points for Klay Thompson.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
Yeah, major problems at the charity stripe in that game. They just could not convert their free throws.
And on the road, you're missing your freebies. How do you expect to come out of that scenario with a win?
Different look here for the Warriors. West is checked in for Pachulia. Iguodala comes in for Kevin Durant. Clark, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Stuckey with it. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Brooks outside. Looking to end the run. West with the block. And now here comes Iguodala leading the break. And the Warriors tack on 2 more.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Stuckey outside. 1:46 left to play here in the first. And once again off the mark by Indiana. Warriors leading by 11. Here's Livingston. Feeds to Green. And Green slams it in.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Well, they came to play today. It's still too early, but they really have put their foot down on their opponent so far.
Here's Stuckey. The Warriors making the shot. Stuckey with another miss. Now, here's Livingston. D right on him. And the slam dunk by Iguodala.
How about the start that they've gotten off to? A huge lead, and we're still in the first quarter.
I mean, they've really owned this game so far. Dominant performance all around.
And the Pacers call time here.
Now, Andre Iguodala, he was my rookie back with Philly.
I saw how hard he worked to fulfill his potential. There was a time when Andre Iguodala was the #1 option on an offense. You have to give him credit for accepting a smaller role to be part of something special with his team. He has seen his numbers in scoring dip, but the wins have gone through the roof for him. He relishes the role of being the wingman who is there to complement and help set up others.
The Warriors making a switch here. Thompson's checked in. On the wing, Stuckey. He's covered by Thompson. Brooks with no one around. That one's off. Still out of sync. And just about everything regarding Andre Iguodala is about team first.
Well, you can't forget how superb his defense still is, but you are dead on with his team-first attitude. He walks the walk and is respected as a leader because of his unselfish nature. Not many players in the NBA can swallow their pride like he was.
And they keep going down low with the ball and keep getting positive results.
Strategy obvious. Their game plan is to get the ball as close to the basket, and so far it's been paying off extremely well.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Allen, a screen on Iguodala. Brooks from outside. And it's Klay Thompson with the rebound. Back to Livingston. Thompson from long range. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. The Warriors on top, leading by 17. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. Kevin Durant, always in the gym, always working to improve. We asked him where that inspiration and passion originated.
Comes from me being 8 years old and me just saying I want to be the best player. You know, first on at 8 years old, you want to be the best player in your neighborhood, and that's where it comes from. Just always want to be the best, and no matter where I'm playing at. And if I keep working each and every year, I've gotten better. You know, if I continue to just keep working, I've seen improvements.
Year-by-year improvements until he became the best player in the league and won an MVP. Now, the challenge, Greg, is to get back to that level after the injuries. Obviously, I think we all feel it is possible.
And you're absolutely right, Kevin. I mean, he's definitely proven in terms of the talent, the skill, and athleticism. What we find out now after dealing with the adversity is does he have the heart and drive and that competitive spirit to be considered still among the very best.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And for the Warriors, this has been the game they wanted to have.
How good has the ball movement been here? Just absolutely terrific.
Yeah, really unselfish. The guys are in it for each other. I mean, racking up huge assist totals. Love to see the game being played this way.
On the court for Indiana, Stuckey and George make up the perimeter. Miles Turner out there with C.J. Miles, and it's Brooks in a point.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Well, Chris, we have a question for you sent in from one of our fans from Todd up in New Hampshire. They want to know what your favorite moment was as an NBA player. A question I'm also curious to know about.
Wow. My favorite moment as an NBA player, very honestly, I would say it would be the day of being drafted. I mean, after then you have so many great moments, so many players that you play with, that you love to play with. It's hard to separate anything without disrespecting another moment. So I just really feel that the greatest moment of my career was stepping on that stage in Detroit at the Palace in my hometown. With my finger up and just knowing that I made it, for all of us. The goal is to make it. It's not about to be a Hall of Famer. It's not about to be an All-Star. It's not about to win a championship, even though those are dreams. But you can't do it until, you make it. And so for me, putting that suit on, seeing my father shed tears, seeing my mother's eyes and the twinkle she had in her eyes, seeing my brothers and my 3 brothers and my sister, how happy they were, that definitely was the moment because it was a family moment and it was for Detroit. So it was special.
Well said. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldrich.
Well, guys, we know our old friend Steve Kerr was new to coaching when he took the reins of the Warriors. He's mentored under the greats. He said that Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich both had an almost scary amount of presence. As for Steve, he said, I'm very laid back. I believe in the calm presence of a coach, more so than the ranting and raving and screaming and yelling. Guess that's what he says to the referees anyway, guys.
Cool under pressure, but DA, he's as competitive as they come. Thank you. Chris, so often we'll see one play in a game that seems to change the...
And he just punishes the D for falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, a little disorganized that time, and the result, 2 points in the loudest way possible.
Oh, you love it. He's just playing with the greater energy and effort. He recognizes the opening and pounces on it.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Iguodala. And look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for the Pacers.
And you see not a lot of corner threes. The defense doing a good job of closing out and denying those shorter distance triples. That's what the smart teams have to do.
Indiana's gotten both of their 3-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter.
And the Pacers really, for so long, kind of defined that old school plotting defensive-oriented team, and then they just flipped the script last season. I mean, completely reinventing themselves, playing much of that season with 4 perimeter players on the court and finding ways to be successful at doing it.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. And a chance here now to take a look at the teams that are tops in the league in scoring points off turnovers. In third, the Warriors.
You know, when you make a mistake against this team, they make you pay. I mean, because they convert those turnovers into fast break points, and that really can be demoralizing.
Now T, after the missed 3 from Iguodala. Screen by Jefferson. George, that's a 2-pointer. Misses off the right iron.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. And Chris, having played at the University of Michigan in the powerhouse Big Ten, we see a lot of their players go on to the NBA. Which player from the Big Ten is in the league right now that you feel is the best right now?
Well, I mean, when you look at the Big Ten, I mean, you would have to say Draymond Green. You know, I think right now, just he's playing at such a high level. I love my man Oladipo. You know, he can go. But, you know, at the same time, don't forget about the old wily veteran out there. And that's Mr. Ball Handles himself. That's Mr. Make You Fall Down, wait for you to get up so he can shoot the jumper in your face himself. And that's my man, Jamal Crawford.
On the wing, George. The pass to Jefferson. It's deflected, and they're able to recover. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way. It's going to be Young shooting. It's on Kevin Durant. And for Thaddeus Young, extremely effective last season after signing a 4-year, $50 million contract. Definitely made an effort to earn that money.
And for a guy who didn't operate much out of the post, he still took high percentage shots. You saw the hustle, his ability to rack up steals, the improved rebounding. He moved his feet well enough to play the 3 and worked on his strength enough to where he can also play the 4.
Now here's Iguodala. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Curry kicks to Thompson. Thompson is doubled. Back to Curry. From deep. And again, Klay Thompson for 3. Thompson's got 12 points now in the quarter.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Outside Teague. Ellis against Thompson. The drive by Ellis. And it's denied.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
A 3-pointer is right on target. 30 points for Klay Thompson.
The defense a step slow. You can see the results.
And here is Jefferson after the 3-pointer from Klay Thompson. Jefferson dishes to George. From 12 feet out, And there's Al Jefferson on the assist by George. Jefferson's got 6.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim unabated in stride.
Thompson for 3. And another 3 for Golden State.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
Here's Jefferson, scored the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
A bull in a china shop down low. Jefferson also has that soft shooting touch.
And here we go. Teague heading to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway layup.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Iguodala kicks to Thompson. That one fall. Coming off Iguodala's feet. 36 points for Klay Thompson.
You have got to make some kind of a defensive adjustment here. He is just lighting them up from beyond.
His three-point shot has just been lethal today, and there is no end in sight to this barrage.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
And another 3 for Golden State.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
And here is Teague. Screen by Young. The shot by George. Wide open. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
And that's a big bonus for him to end the quarter as he just beats the buzzer.
Whoa. Can you believe that? What a shot right there. He found a way to get it off in time.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Warriors ahead, running away with it. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Draymond. Of course, not unusual to see you going up against bigger players. So how do you take advantage of that offensively?
I mean, you just got to take advantage of mismatches. You know, most of the time there's a big guy on me. If not, there's usually somebody trying to switch off. And I just got to know when to pop and just take advantage of the mismatches.
You've done just that in the first half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. 1 half completed. Let's break it down. Klay Thompson brought his A game early tonight. He ended up with 39 points, 2 steals, and 3 rebounds. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
I thought the first half belonged to Klay Thompson. If you give him an opening anywhere on the floor, he'll bury it. You have to keep a defender on him at all times. If you don't, he's going to shoot you right out the gym and send you home with a loss.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Well, the bottom line, they got to defend the three-point line much better. They were concentrating all their effort into protecting the paint, and these guys were standing behind the line, yakum, splaka kataya, and that strategy backfired, Ernie. They gave up far too many open looks, and all those threes killed them.
And that about wraps it up, as the second half is just moments away. Now down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew, and we will see you after the game, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Picturesque Lake Mirrors is seen there as we welcome you back to Oakland. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Klay Thompson has been sensational.
Just in attack mode, he was able to get in the lane at will in that first half.
The most intense guy on the court at times. Put a lot of pressure on the defense. We'll see if he can maintain that level of energy the rest of the way.
Warriors shooting an almost unfair 78% from the field. The
Warriors do so many things well, but what they are most known for is their ability to shoot it from deep. Led by the Splash Brothers, but everyone on this roster can shoot a three. They can turn a 2-point lead into a 15-point lead in under a minute when they start letting it fly from outside.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. And Golden State looking at who they've got. The incredible shooting pair of Curry and Thompson in the backcourt. Durant is out there with Draymond Green, and it's Pachulia in at the 5. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Al Jefferson is now well known for his footwork, but he says he was a willing student when he first broke into the league. He said, when I got to Boston, I stole Paul Pierce's ball fake. In Minnesota, Tom Gugliotta used to kick my butt every day in practice with his turnaround jumper, so I stole that. Everyone I go against likes something they do, I steal it, put it in my own form. Kevin?
Imitation, the highest form of flattery. Thanks, D.A. And here's George. After the three-pointer from Klay Thompson. And the stats for the Warriors, three-point shooting over the last few seasons, is just astounding.
Well, just look at the stats. As a team in 2016, they shot 41.6% from beyond the arc, by far the highest mark by a team for the season. Actually, is the second highest percentage all time in the NBA, trailing the 1997 Charlotte Hornets. Oddly enough, that Hornets team also featured a three-point sniper, a Curry. Dale, Steph's father, was one of the veterans.
And it's Golden State's ball. Stringing it together. They've got an 11-2 run going. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Screened by Young. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
This is a throwback scoring effort from Jefferson. We used to see him do this almost every night.
And some changes here for the Warriors. West is checked in for Pachulia. Ian Clark comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. The Pacers also changing it up. Turner's checked in for Young. Stuckey comes in for Ellis. And it's Brooks in for T. On the wing, Thompson. Three-pointer. And another three for Golden State.
And what a great start to the second half. They've hit everything they've looked at thus far.
Brooks, the pass to Stuckey. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Turner dishes to Stuckey. Over Green. And Stuckey gets it to go on the assist by Turner. Stuckey's got his second bucket tonight.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
Thompson is doubled. From deep. From beyond the arc and then some.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
We knew that Klay is one of the most explosive scorers in the game. That much was clear, Chris, when he put up his record-setting 37 points in the quarter.
And attention to all defenders. With Klay, it doesn't matter what you do if he is in that zone. He's tall enough not to be bothered by the hands in his face and can just drill a shot from anywhere. That's why he's a danger to put up 20 or more points in a quarter every time he takes the floor. Just like his other Splash brother.
And the Pacers with possession here, following the score by Golden State. And George kicks to Brooks. Just 5 on the clock. And there are the Pacers with another bucket. Warriors have gone an unbelievable 8 of 8 shooting since halftime. Must have been some kind of pep talk in that locker room. West outside. Down low. Stolen by Brooks. Plenty of space. Hit the tip.
I love his effort so far. It's scoring at a consistent clip. Unfortunately, though, his team remains well behind.
Livingston kicks to Thompson. Now, here's Livingston. He's guarded by Stuckey. Livingston passes to Clark. That's tipped. Stuckey outside. Brooks outside. It's stolen by Livingston. And here they go. And it's Green with the jam.
Finish it through the contact. One of Draymond's specials.
And so here is Indiana. 1:16 left to play in the third. George, that's a two-pointer. And it's George again missing.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Green inside. He's against Turner. Livingston. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got 3 assists now in this one.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Brooks misses.
Well, they often look to him to provide for them on offense, and he simply isn't getting the job done today.
Latrey. It's rebounded by Indiana. Next up, they'll face the Suns. That'll be in Phoenix. That will be the 4th of the string of 5 played on the road. Green with the block.
And good anticipation by Draymond. I mean, he always gets in position for these clean spots like this one.
West, that's good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Now, here is George. He's got 11. From deep three-point range, an absolute bomb from three-point range. George has got 5 points in the quarter. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Warriors ahead, running away with this one. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. And Indiana shooting straight 49% from the field. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. They've got C.J. Miles. Robinson is out there with Young. Then there's LaVoy Allen. And it's Evans in at the power forward. Now, here is Robinson. It's tipped. 5 to shoot. And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession.
And really no choice but to lunge for that pass to make sure it didn't get through.
Great resolve there on defense, allowing nothing easy.
That shot a little beyond his normal range. Young's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Indiana. Now, here's Livingston. He's covered closely. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
And we're seeing more and more coaches, Chris, taking on a dual role as both head coach and director of basketball operations, being their own general manager. About 5 teams with that arrangement. More to come, I think. What do you think?
Well, I think if you're a coach and you prove that you can handle that responsibility, yes. But I don't think it is something for the weary of heart. You take on more responsibility. But I do think, though, it gives you more power as a coach because now you just start sitting guys down or the threat of the bench isn't your only help. Also, the threat of the trade can help and give guys, coaches, that much more power, too. So I don't know if we'll see it as much as you think because it may be a conflict of interest at times there. But I think for the best ones and for the good ones, or for the ones that earn the trust of their teams, you'll see that.
Very good point. And it's blocked, and that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Now, here's Miles. He's covered by Iguodala. That's good for Miles on the assist by Allen. Miles has got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Pacers. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone. Everything they've done has worked.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
And it became clear early on in that 2015-16 season that the Warriors were going to be special. Everyone knew that they were going to be atop the standings all year, but you had to start viewing them in a historical context shortly into the season. Even with all the talk and the pressure, they still kept their composure to win 73 games.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. And Chris, with the Warriors and all this historical context talk, inevitably, they were compared to the team whose record they were chasing, the 96 Bulls.
Well, yeah, I don't get caught up in that argument. It's so hard to compare teams from today to teams that played 2 or 3 decades ago. I had to play against the 96 Bulls, but I tell you what, players were different, the rules were different, the style of game was different. It's really hard to say who would win.
The Warriors making a switch here. McAdoo's checked in. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Here's Clark, guarded by Robinson. Clark dishes to Iguodala. Off target from outside.
That is fantastic defense on one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Didn't give him an inch of room.
Buries it from three-point range.
Oh, great ball movement there.
One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent passing.
No doubt about it. It's fun to watch the way they're operating as a team right now. They are all in sync.
Oh, and a nice look by Livingston, keeping his eyes up to locate the man.
Outside, Robinson. Young outside. Allen outside. Indiana moving it around. Shot clock at 6. And Young kicks to Robinson. From deep, Miles. Rebounded by McAdoo. Warriors have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Launches a 3. No good from Clark. The Pacers have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. It's stolen by Livingston. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Wants to get it to Verjao, and does. And there it is for him.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Indiana's gotten the three-point shot off 16 times tonight. 7 times they've hit it. 9 times they've missed. Allen with it. Now defended by Verjao. Offensive rebound. Shots good from Young.
And he's in attack mode, crashing the glass, then goes right back up with it.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. Well, for the Pacers last season, they trade Roy Hibbert to the Los Angeles Lakers. David West took far less money. Greg to leave town. You worried about their front court and that it would be in shambles?
Yeah, and instead, rookie Miles Turner showed himself to be a steal as a shot-blocking, perimeter shooting big. And it was a best-case scenario. If they could build on that, I think they have a chance to be one of the contenders in that Eastern Conference. And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. For Indiana, they've gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Brooks outside. Teardrop shot. Another shot. Allen. And it's good. Good. Contact gets the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
What's up? He's just a tireless competitor. Have to body him up or he'll roast you on the offensive boards every time.
That free throw good from Allen. Chris, you came up through college at Michigan, and in the NBA, you were an offensive force at all times at a lot of different positions. More times than not, always the first option. Is the mindset you need to have to be the lead guy in offense for a team different than if you're a contributor? Can you make the switch from contributor to lead guy?
You know, that's a good question. I think it's different for every player. For me, even later in my career when I couldn't contribute as much, I only still had the mentality of the lead contributor. So for me, I think the biggest thing is you need to know your skill set. And if you know who you are, if you know how you play, if you know how you can dominate what you can and can't do, then you're the best type of player. And for me, I think that's where I serve myself best. And so, I wanted to be dominant in all type of ways. And so it was scoring, it was rebounding, and it was passing. And so if you have a bad night in one of those categories, you can still be dominant in those other areas. And so for me, you always want to have the attitude that you're the best competitor on the team, regardless of what your role is.
Well, great perspective.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Warriors.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win.
No doubt they came in very motivated to win this one and finish the season series at a game apiece. A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Thompson.
But look, he made the tough shots. He made the easy shots. He made all the shots. It was an offensive showcase for him tonight. He's the reason they're going to run away with this win.
That free throw, no good. That's off as well, so he misses both. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Stuckey. Hands the shot with nobody near him.
And this run not really doing them any good at this point, as late as it's starting to evolve.
Well, it's really too bad that they found themselves a little too late in this one.
Now Livingston. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. They poured it on a dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sidelines. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Klay, what is the key to the way you played tonight?
I'm just used to the pace of the game by now, and my teammates do a good job of finding me when I'm open, so all credit goes to them. I just catch and fire when I'm open.
And they found the shooter, and he shot. Thanks, Klay. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
And Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present our Jordan player of the game, Klay Thompson. I don't even know what more you can ask for. 60-plus points? That's insane. No one does that. Yet for some reason, we're not entirely surprised, because we know he has a penchant for achieving the impossible.
What a deadly offensive weapon Klay Thompson has become. You see the quickness on that release? He can beat you off the dribble, take you to the hole, and you know he can bury it from three. Whatever method he chooses, his points are going to come. He's got a world of talent.
He just put on a clinic. That's the kind that makes you want to just take notes. Like grab your pad, make notes, because you're never going to see something like this again possibly. Combining an elite skill set with an attack-first mindset. Wow, incredible.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everyone.